Hey there, it's Reena Jadhav here at Vader Splash X at HP's event tonight. We're having a fantastic time. We're taking a little break, and I'm chatting with Lance Downing here from Stanford University. Lance, tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I work in the Department of Medicine, faculty in Biomedical Informatics research. There I work with the Clinical Excellence Research Center, and we're a research center that really focuses on lowering the cost of care in the United States while maintaining high quality care. One of our largest collaborations is the partnership in AI-assisted care. There we're partnering with the Stanford AI Lab and focusing on applications of AI in healthcare. We're utilizing privacy-maintaining sensors to automatically detect and recognize critical healthcare activities. For one example, we know we have an aging population. The baby boomers are quickly entering the phase where they need assistance in their lives. No one wants to move into assisted care, and it's very costly. It costs about $100,000 per year on average in the United States to move into long-term care. And so we said, what if we could automatically know, without any human intervention, intrusive monitors, bracelets, or wearables, what was going on in the senior's life? Could that make a difference in that person's life and in their family, in knowing that they're safe?
Absolutely.
And therefore keep them in the home longer.
Absolutely.
And so we're training machines to automatically recognize important activities so that we can detect, for example, if your aging grandmother hasn't gotten out of bed today or has fallen on the bathroom floor and can't get up on their own.
So when you say AI, I'm picturing now at this point a little robot that's my grandmother's friend that sort of comes in the morning and says, good morning, get out of bed, let's go brush our teeth, and sort of keeps me informed of what's going on in my grandma. Is that how you're envisioning it? Or talk a little bit about how are you implementing this?
Sure. To be honest, we're not yet at the implementation phase. We are at kind of the development phase.
Okay.
I can imagine that might be a way that people find acceptable.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. And so the great thing is we're partnering with researchers with expertise in that domain, human-computer interaction, so understand how humans best interact with computers to best implement these types of technology. But right now what we're doing is training the computers to recognize the activities. This takes tons and tons of data. Really smart computer scientists are partners in the engineering side to develop algorithms that can automatically detect, for example, that someone is sitting, standing, has fallen down, is still in bed, maybe has lost continence of urine even. Got
it. So it could almost be an eye, for example, that just sits in a wall somewhere and just sort of tracks what's going on and gathers all this data. Very exciting. Yeah. Do you have a lab where you're going to test all this, or is this still at this point on a piece of paper, like it's still thoughts? No,
we are doing this in real life at several sites. So we're at the Stanford Children's Hospital. Okay. The Intermountain Hospital in Utah is a close partner of Stanford. And then we're working with an assisted living facility in San Francisco called Unlock. So we're doing this in seniors' homes, in the hallways of a pediatric hospital, and the intensive care unit of an adult hospital, and looking at different use cases where the term that we use is computer vision, the machine interpretation of visual information to automatically detect what we think are health critical activities.
Because there's so much hype around AI, and the question is what's hype and what's real.
Yeah. And
so help for those of us out there that are trying to get a better clarity, better sense of what's real today.
Yeah. So, I think computer vision has really come along in the last maybe 4 or 5 years. We know, for example, that the sensor technology on autonomous vehicles works pretty well now. We've all been around, at least in this area, around the self-driving vehicles. They use a similar approach of a layer of sensors, artificial intelligence, to automatically interpret the physical environment and then make decisions based on that. We are translating this into a healthcare setting, which has not yet been done, but we think makes a ton of sense and is real, to say, use the term. I think this will impact people's lives in the next 5 years, not in the next 20 years.
And what's your timeline with this one project? For development.
So we are a research institution. We look towards partners in industry to bring this into people's actual homes and lives. But we think partnering closely with industry is important. We can do the research and development side. They can help us inform how to bring this to market to actually impact people's lives.
So this could be an exciting opportunity for some founders sitting out there listening to this going, hey, I'm interested. in commercializing this? Do you work with everybody, anybody? What are the parameters around who do you partner with?
We're open to working to anyone excited about a similar vision. I think there's a lot of opportunities to work with us, whether a large technology company, an entrepreneur, or an institution looking to support our research.
And how are you funded?
We're funded generously through gifts from donors, grants, and industry collaborations.
Got it. So you talked a little bit about what's going on in the senior side of the house, which is very important given we're going to have a lot more senior citizens and we're helping them live longer, which is great. What else are you excited about?
So I'm really excited about the difference we're going to make in the way we deliver healthcare. I'm an internist by training. I'm actually working in the hospital this week taking care of patients.
Two hats.
Yeah. And I think that helps inform what really makes sense. And we know, despite our best efforts, we still hurt a lot of people. Recent estimates are that 100 to 200,000 Americans die every year from medical errors.
I think it's the number 3rd cause of death is still medical errors.
That sounds right. It's horrifying. I think that's right. And we know simple things like washing your hands every time really make a difference, and yet we find that is really a difficult goal for pretty much every healthcare organization to achieve. State of the art in nearly every hospital.
Because no one's reading Atul Gawande's book, The Checklist. If only everybody read the Checklist Manifesto, I think we'd be able to decrease, but I digress.
Well, no, I actually really agree, but I think the problem is not knowing about the checklist, it's
doing the checklist.
It's doing.
Exactly.
And so we're looking at how do you automate the processes that human minds really aren't good at dealing with. The doing the right thing all the time, every time.
We're not robots.
We're not robots, but luckily,
sometimes I don't want to do the right thing.
Luckily, we have machines to help us. And so we've, at the Children's Hospital at Stanford, developed algorithms to detect whether or not someone used the hand hygiene as they enter the room.
And if not, what do you do?
We are working on that part as we speak to find
Where's
out.
the stick?
Yeah, to find out what's most acceptable, what's not going to drive people nuts. We don't need more alarms and bells going off.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
But maybe something gentle is the right answer. But we don't know. That's
a motherly voice.
Yeah.
Very interesting. What else? So that sounds like another huge problem to tackle.
Yeah.
And how far are you in terms of research through implementation on that problem?
So our algorithm performs at essentially 99.9% accuracy, better than humans in detection, and beats the state of the art, which is a person with a clipboard carefully noting if people wash their hands. So we are in the midst of developing an intervention with, again, researchers in human-computer interaction to rigorously study how should this actually be implemented, not to drive clinicians nuts with another alert and another alarm.
Of course.
Because I think that's actually a really important factor.
Oh, absolutely. Otherwise it won't work.
Yeah.
What else? So those are two huge problems. Is there a third?
Yeah, so the another bucket that we're looking at is in the surgical field. So we know that we have world-class surgeons at Stanford, but even they get tired throughout the day or perhaps during a case. Through a similar approach, we can look at the way their tools move, automatically detect what they're doing with which tools, and what we're hoping to do is start to understand when their performance changes and help create, again, a system that augments clinicians, helps them understand when they're deviating from what their desired actions are.
Smart medtech.
Yeah.
And how far away are you in realizing that vision?
So we had actually a high school student with an award-winning paper at NIPS last year, which is a major AI conference, in the identification of the tool. So we're still early on there, but looking for partners on how to develop the next phase of this, which is recognizing the more detailed and nuanced activities.
Now you live and breathe this, you're sort of steeped in this. So which one of these do you think is going to become a material reality in the next 18 months to 2 years?
I would guess that all three will be in the next 36 months.
Okay.
I don't know about the next 18 months.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are looking at this in the home, this general approach of sensor technology to help promote wellness and safe aging. So I think 5 years from now we will undoubtedly see this. I'm not sure what mixture we'll see, but
more billion-dollar companies and more unicorns on the way.
I think it's unavoidable.
Yeah, it's a beautiful future. I mean, I love just even hearing all these amazing solutions. I know my grandkids are going to have a great future. So thank you for all the great work you do. Any advice to someone out there that's fascinated, interested in the space of AI research? What would you recommend? Where should they focus, or any parting advice?
Yeah, I think it's a broad field, and I think you're right that there's a lot of hype, and it's unclear what's real. I think, you know, partnering with great collaborators, whether in industry or academia, can really help sort out who are doing real things and who are kind of chasing hype dreams. So we're always looking for great partners in that regard.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks.